everybody, and welcome back to the United Stand, as it is Manchester United's first away game of the season as we take on Brighton at the Amex Stadium. I mean, are you excited? Do you think Manchester United are going to get the 3 points? Again, all your predictions down below. But what I will say is, if you think these 3 points are going to be easy, I would say think again. Our last 5 Premier League results against Brighton have not been ones that Manchester United fans would want to look at. Finished it off really nicely at the end of a really poor season last season with a 2-0 win. But apart from that, it was looking very, very bleak. But it is a new season. We've got the 3 points in the bag against Fulham. We go away from home. We need to get our away record straight. We need to go and get these 3 points. And if you're looking at the teams around us, if you're looking at a positive start, Liverpool in your next game, we have to go down to Brighton and prove we are an improved side. We are a better side, and we're not going to stumble against these teams anymore. We're not going to do what we've done in the past, and we're going to go down there, we're going to get the job done no matter what it takes, and we're going to get the 3 points. But I've heard so many people saying United have to win this game, you know, Brighton's got a new manager, Brighton will be tough. If anybody tuned in to the Everton versus Brighton game on the first game of the season, I mean, Brighton are top of the league right now on goal difference. They won against Everton 3-0, and I know Ashley Young got sent off, but Brighton were already winning it 2-0 at that point, and I was tuned into that game. They were smashing them up. They looked really good. Manchester United away from home have been poor in recent times. We've got to go down there. We've got to be strong. We've got to have a team shape that's going to go down there and not concede number of opportunities. We've got to be a strong team, and we've got to go and take our chances as well. But let's get into things. We're going to answer all the questions that a lot of people are talking about. Do you bring De Ligt in to start his first game for Manchester United? Do you drop Maguire, who had a monstrous performance against Fulham? That's a big question on a lot of the mouths of Manchester United fans. Does Garnacho come into the starting 11? Made a big impact off the bench again, like he did in the Community Shield. Does he come in? And who does he come in for? Does he come in for Ahmad? Does he come in for Rashford? Where does he go? Does Mason Mount drop to the bench, or does he keep his place, considering he was vitally important to the press in the first half against that Fulham side? He was really important in terms of keeping that midfield shape, and I think went under the radar of a lot of people watching that game. I thought it was really important. I was speaking to Ricky about it on the show on the United Stand, and he was saying how Mason Mount was super important, and people are really not taking notice of what he can provide to the team. So does that happen? Joshua Zirkzee scored the winning goal at the Stretford end. Does he come on? Do Manchester United need a focal point? A lot of people watching that Fulham game were crying out, United need a focal point, they need a striker on the pitch. Who goes to the bench for him if he does come into the team? Or does Erik ten Hag name exactly the same team because he doesn't want to change a winning team? Despite the subs making a big impact, that team did beat Fulham, and it is a winning team. Do you change it? Do you fix what's not broke? Or was it broke because he had to make the subs? They're the questions we're going to be asking and answering, and get your comments in down below as well, what you think. But I'm super excited. I'm very excited. Whether I'll still be excited by the end of today, I'm not sure. But it's going to be a tough game, and I think it's really going to show what are Manchester United made of. Have we still got the same weaknesses that we've come across in the past? Have we strengthened up? Have we got more steel in us? Are we more prepared to take on this Premier League season and get better results and fight against the top teams in the league? Because these are the results you've got to go and get if you want to be fighting towards the top of the table. But our last results against Brighton, I'll bring them into the show because I wanted to bring them in. Our last 5 Premier League games against Brighton. Wow. So we finished it off away from home with a 2-0 win towards the end of last season, if you remember that. But before that, it's not looking good. Home game, we got beat 3-1. Before that, we had an away game and we got beat 1-0. Before that, there was the home game at Old Trafford, which you all will remember was Erik ten Hag's first home game as the Manchester United manager, and he got beat 2-1. So Erik ten Hag has some scars against Brighton. The Rasmus Højlund goal getting ruled off because in the assist it was out of play on VAR. Apparently, I still don't think that was out of play, and I still think that should have been a goal. They went on to win 3-1, and then his first home game, when everyone started questioning the Lisandro Martinez signing, everyone started, people were sitting down with Erik ten Hag for interviews about his signings. Everyone was worried. His first home game of his career at Manchester United, he lost to Brighton. So we need to put something straight, and we've got to get our revenge. And then before that, I don't really want to speak about it too much, before Ten Hag was manager, 4-0 away from home loss, which really wasn't great, was it? So Brighton have scarred us in the past. They have got a good team. They love to use their wingers. Matoma, we know what he can do. He's been sensational the last couple of seasons in the Premier League. But they've got a new guy in, Minter, who looks he looks mint. That's what I'd say about that. He looks genuinely so good, and he's definitely someone we need to watch. So our fullbacks, Dalot and Mazraoui, will have a lot to do. They'll have a lot on their hands, but also the centre-backs that are, defending that line really need to be on guard, and they can't be caught out from crosses coming into the box. Can you trust Maguire to do that? I mean, he's brilliant aerially. Is he as agile on the floor to get across? Martinez as well, obviously, can win duels in the air. He's a little bit shorter, but he's really good at anticipating. We know Martinez is going to start. He's an absolute beast. He's an absolute warrior. For me, an absolute leader. I thought he came across so well in his interview post after the Fulham game. And there's no doubts about it. Martinez is going to start as left-sided centre-back, and he is, for me, one of the first names on the team sheet. But who partners him? Because you have this question. This is the first question we're going to answer. Do you bring De Ligt in, or do you start Maguire? And I'll tell you where I'm at with it. So Maguire had a monstrous performance against Fulham, was absolutely excellent. If De Ligt would have done that on his debut, everyone would have been waxing lyrical about it. Of course, there's still things to improve. I think he could have been a little bit quicker on the ball at times. Sometimes, we need to push up the pitch a little bit further with Maguire. Sometimes we do find ourselves falling a little bit deep. But overall, unbelievable performance from him. Is that a performance where he deserves to get dropped? It's not. It's not. He deserves to start the next game based off that performance. But at the same time, Ten Hag, you've gone and bought De Ligt. De Ligt's the future. De Ligt's 25. He's the guy you want to partner Lisandro Martinez for the rest of the season. And then obviously when Lenny Yoro gets back fit, you make a decision. But De Ligt's the leader. He's got pedigree. He's experienced. But does Harry Maguire deserve dropping? And also throwing him into an away game at Brighton for your first game, that could easily go wrong. And then does that knock De Ligt's confidence? Does that get people on his back if it does go wrong? Or do you just trust him? He was your captain at Ajax. He's your guy. You absolutely love this player. You've got a relationship. He knows how you want him to play. You know how he can play. Do you do that? So that's going to be a big question for Ten Hag. What would you do? Honestly, I wouldn't mind either way. If he brings De Ligt in, I say, fair enough, start as you mean to go on. If he keeps Maguire in the team, I say, I can't knock it after his performance against Fulham. So I'm going to stay on the fence on that one. Don't mind what he does, but it's a big decision and it's a big call. And if things go wrong, either way, people will be on his back. So, important decision from Erik Ten Hag there. Joshua Zirkzee, does he start? Got the winning goal against Fulham and did really well. We were missing a focal point. First half, I was very pleased with our performance. I thought we dug in. The team shape was good. We're creating some good opportunities. We're making some good late runs into the box. We could have done more in terms of the tempo, getting into the final third, and we did look a little bit lethargic, but I thought that was just the first game back. Overall, our team shape and what we limited Fulham to, I thought was a big improvement considering how many chances we were conceding last season, especially open day against Wolves. They had about 25 shots. Fulham, I think, had about 8 to 10 in that game. I think, if I can remember, we definitely limited them. So I was happy with that. But in the second half, you could tell we needed a striker. We needed somebody to help the forward line out because there was nothing there. And that's why we were struggling a little bit in the final third. I think what Ten Hag will do is I think he will start with Mount. I think he will again start with a false 9 because he wants to keep that defensive shape. We're away from home. We don't want to go in all guns blazing, and you don't want to be going into half-time thinking, why have you given away so many chances? Brighton are already ahead and we've kind of got to reshape here. I think his plan at Brighton, start with that team, don't concede, get to half-time, we can go and score a goal. I think that'll be Erik Ten Hag's plan. I don't think Zirkzee will start. I think he will come off the bench again. However, should Garnacho start and will Garnacho start? I think you've got to bring Garnacho in for me. I think he's just super exciting. I think when he came off the bench, again, he looked like a player that was going to do something. It looked like that's where the goal was going to come from. It was a great team goal, don't get me wrong. Martinez was involved, then it went to Bruno, Casemiro, laid it off to Garnacho, great cross into the box, Zirkzee finished it off. It was a great team goal, but Garnacho again with that cross in, and he should have scored as well. Rashford passed it to him. It was like one of the misses of the season probably, but he should have scored. He looks like he's always going to do something, always looks threatening. I think it's time to start Alejandro Garnacho. Came back a little bit earlier from his holiday to train, came on in the Community Shield, scored the goal, and again was crucial in setting up the goal for the Zirkzee finish that give us our first 3 points of the Premier League season. I think Garnacho should come in. Who would I drop for Garnacho to come in? I actually thought Rashford got a really hard time after the Fulham game. I thought he was decent. I thought what I was happy about with Rashford is he actually was working really hard. He was tracking back his work rate. I was so happy with his work rate because that's something I was really disappointed with last season. Everyone can have a poor season. Everyone can be out of form, but at least work hard. Rashford worked hard in that game. Again, though, poor end product. And I do think a lot of it is to do with not having a left back that's consistently overlapping and consistently partnering him. But you can't make all these excuses. For Rashford's standards, he should be doing more. And I look at Amad and I look at what he can provide. I just love Amad Diallo. I think he's so talented. I think he's so technically gifted on the ball. And again, another player that worked tremendously hard to get back. He was defending brilliantly against Fulham because he always, he's brilliant going forward. We know that. But his defensive work has improved so much, and I think he's really vital in that aspect as well, which is going to be important against Brighton with their wingers. I'd start Amad and Garnacho personally on the wings. That's what I would do. A lot of people in the chat will say they prefer Garnacho as a right winger though. So then does Amad drop to the bench? What would you do? Get in the comments down below what you would do. But it's good that Ten Hag has his headache. It's good that he's like, I don't know which winger to start because I've got 3 wingers that are competing for a spot as of now, and people aren't even talking about Anthony and Sancho. I mean, for Anthony and Sancho, it's like who makes the bench? Who's going to be left out of the squad? And I think, again, Sancho, with his move to Juventus maybe materialising, he will be left out of the squad once again. But look, I'm super excited going into this Brighton game. I can't wait to see Mazraoui again, especially in an away performance. He looked absolutely top-notch against Fulham. He was my player of the match. Super excited to see what Xerxes can do as well. Maybe we'll have Ugarte. I mean, we won't have him against Brighton, but maybe we'll have it more confirmed at that point that he is going to be coming into the team. Can Casemiro build on that first performance, which, I mean, we still need improvements in that area, but was miles ahead of where he was at last season, which was on the floor. It couldn't get any worse. Bruno Fernandes missed a few chances that he should have scored against Fulham. Will he get on the score sheet? I'm excited. This United team looks stronger. It looks more resilient, and it looks like it's going to take a lot more to break them down based off the first team. We've got that familiarity. Erik ten Hag's had the backing of the summer. We seem together. We've got that aura. I'm excited, but we have to do the business on the pitch, and we've got to get 3 points. Even if we get a draw, I'll be disappointed. Start the season. Let's start how we mean to go on. Away form needs to improve. What's my prediction? I'm going with a 2-1 Manchester United win. I think it'll be difficult. I think Brighton will actually score the first goal, and I think Manchester United will come back and win it. 2-1, and we will win that game. What do you guys think? I think it's going to be a tough one. Hit a like on the video because, it's the United stand and it's match day. Hit a like on the video, but get your predictions in down below. Come on, United, let's do this.